Hi, well, my name's Daniel Wickman, and today I'm continuing my review of the Jinbei EF200 continuous light thanks to ProTalk. We've had this light at Kintaro Studios now for about 12 months, and in that time it's quickly become a part of our go-to lighting package. A lot of the work that we do is corporate work, commercial work, documentaries, so it's important that the package that we have is scalable, and this package definitely meets that need. So pretty much what you see on the table here is everything that's a part of our kind of go-to lighting package. There's a couple of stands in the back that go along with each light, but inside this Inception bag here contains 2 of the lights with all of the power cables needed to run the lights. I then have the 90cm deep parabolic softbox as part of the package, which is used as our main diffusion source for interviews, so our key light has a lovely soft nature to the light, and that uses a Bowens adapter just to go straight onto the front of these lights. Our other lights that we use are the LEDGO lights, and this is a 4x150 package, which includes 4 of these 150 LEDGO lights. Now these are fantastic if there's sections of a frame that are just seeming a little bit dim and we're wanting just to kick a little bit of light into background. They're great for backlights for interviews, which is what we use them for predominantly. Otherwise, they're so small, they can be tucked away in most situations where you wouldn't normally think about putting a light, like on the dash of a car if you need to give a bit of a kick when you're filming at night inside a closed car cabin. They also have a hot shoe adapter on the lights on all 4 points of each side of the light. So with this package, you can interconnect the lights to just be 1, 2, 3, 4. If you've got another set of these, then you can even expand beyond them. But what better way to show you how these lights operate than to do a bit of a demonstration? So we'd love to show you how we go about normally setting up for a typical interview situation. And we'd love to just show you how these lights operate. So this would be a typical starting point for us for an interview setup, pretty blank canvas. The first thing we do is create a bit of ambience by bouncing one of the EF200s off the ceiling. If you were in a business setting doing a corporate interview, you might be getting natural ambient light from windows, so you may not need to do this, but I find that bouncing one of the EF200s with a bounce board just gives a cleanliness to the starting of the image. Then what we'll do is we'll strike our main key light. So with this EF200, we have the diffusion on it, just to provide a really nice softness to the light. So you can see with this diffusion, in fact, Chapman, we might kill that bounce light. So you can see here, this is with the diffusion on. And then if I take this off, so this is with our diffusion off. And you can see it's quite a harsh light. It is dimmable, so at the moment we've dimmed midway. This would be dimmed all the way down. And then if we dim all the way up, it's got a great range within the actual ballast of the light itself. But the diffusion actually just provides just a really nice softness to the image. So one of the things I try to do when doing an interview setup with regard to lighting is I always try to keep the main lights out of the eyes as much as possible, because in this case our interviewer would be seated right here, and if the light was around anymore, not only does it interrupt their connection and their view, but it also is just quite straining for the eyes of the talent. So I always like to pull it around the side, but it also gives a lot nicer of a definition with this shadow on the right side of Joel's face there. So the other thing that we also do is use these LEDGO lights at the back as our backlights. So Chapman, I'll get you to turn those on. They've currently got the heavier diffusion of the 2 diffusions that come in the kit, and you can see that it's already giving a nice bit of light towards the back of Joel's shoulder. And Chapman, if we just raise that light, we're just going to try and get it over the edge of Joel's collar. Now he's got quite a big collar on with this jumper, and in a normal interview setting the collar would be a little bit lower, but I generally like to have it just creeping up over the collar. And you can see now that this is behind Joel, which is separating him from that background a bit. And again, that's with these super lightweight, super easy LEDGO lights. So one of the things that I didn't actually reveal earlier that we keep inside of our Inception bag is this, which is a 5-in-1 diffusion disc, which Packs down incredibly small, and it's just a fantastic way to add a bit of fill or to cut a bit of light. So in this case, we've probably got about a stop difference between the key light side of Joel's face and the right hand side of his face. But by adding a bit of this negative fill on his right hand side, you can see it just kind of intensifies the overall look of the image, which just tends to add a bit more production value in my opinion, and it tends to kind of just bring the lighting setup to that next kind of level. Pretty much what we've got here is what I would consider to be a close to final image. You might do some finessing with your key light and wrapping it around and finding a comfortable spot. But in most situations, in most corporate settings, this is the lighting setup that this package kind of produces for us. So we have been on a number of sets where we have required a larger scale setup, but it basically mirrors the setup that we've just done here. So we have done some beauty shoots where we've required a lot more light, so we've just multiplied how many EF200s we use, and we've just made a larger diffusion to provide a bigger key light. But ultimately the principles are the same: to have a key light, to have negative fill, to backlight with the LEDGOs, and then to use another EF to provide a nice blanket of atmospheric light. So we'd love to thank Protog again for providing us with these lights. They've become a really great asset to our lighting package, and we'll hope that you'll check out their full range at protog.com.au.